Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and I'm sure you have your Samsung Galaxy S10 in your hand, and you're probably wondering, how can I make my experience 10 times better? How can I make it easier to use? So in this video, we're going to give you the first 10 things that you should be doing to make your experience the best with the Samsung Galaxy S10, S10e, or S10 Plus. And we do have one bonus tip, so you'll want to watch this video all the way to the end. Let's get right to it. Now, even if you've been using the Samsung line for a very long time, or you're coming from the Note 9 and you've upgraded to the new S10, there are significant differences that change the way you use the phone. So in this video, I'm going to give you those 10 tips that are going to make using this phone outstanding. So let's get right to it.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell icon to get notified when new videos become available.
So this first tip is all about readability and also battery life. So if we take a look at our phone now and I swipe down my panel, you'll notice that my notification panel and my notifications are dark. So there's something called the night mode, and we're going to go into settings and I'm going to show you how you find it. Now every single one of these tips, instead of having you to memorize steps, I'm going to show you the shortcuts on how to get everywhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to tap on this magnifying glass, and then you're going to type in night mode. You notice how I have night mode there. You just type that in, and then it's going to take you to this setting. It's going to also, this flash where that night mode is, and we're going to choose it. And then you'll notice when I turn it off how everything changes. It becomes very bright, and it's also harsh to your eyes. Well, guess what? This also eats up battery. So switching it to night mode makes it easier to read and also extends your battery life too. Now this next tip is a combo tip. So this has to do with unlocking your phone. And I want to show you how quickly it is to unlock your phone. But you'll find that if you turn this on and you miss one step, your unlock experience is not going to be the same. So I'm going to turn off the phone. And I just want you to watch what's going to happen. This is going to be using the face recognition. Turn it on, and notice how fast it unlocked. Well, not only did it unlock, but it took me to where I can actually start using my phone. So by default, you're not going to get this feature. It's going to come to a page that you have to swipe, and then you'll be able to gain access to your phone. So let me show you how you set this up. So what we're going to do is go into settings again. We're going to go into face recognition. So notice I have it typed right there. And then what we're going to do while we're in face recognition, we're going to then go into the area that says stay on lock screen. Let me go ahead and put in my password. Okay. Now you'll notice that if I have stay on lock screen enabled, what will happen is you won't go directly into the screen. Let me show you what this does. So I'm going to go ahead, turn it on again. We're going to come back out and watch the difference. And you may be seeing this, and it's kind of frustrating. This is kind of almost Apple-like. So I'm going to power it on, use the face recognition. Now it's unlocked, and look what happened. Why, oh why would that be a feature? So what we're going to do is, again, come back to this. It unlocks, you can see the unlock, but I have to swipe in order to get in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into settings. We're going to go search for that face recognition area. And then I'm going to look for that stay unlock. We're going to disable that. So I'm going to put in my password again. And then we're going to basically disable that feature. And when we disable it now, we're going to watch the difference. We're going to turn it on now. Boom. You're ready to go. That's number 2. Now this next feature has to do with notifications. And now you'll notice up here in the notification area, I have my percentage of battery and several notifications showing up there. And you may not have all those notifications. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into settings again. We're going to go into notifications because that's really close. And then what we're going to do is we're going to basically go into our status bar. So I'm going to choose status bar. And you notice that I have the ability to either see the last 3 notifications or I can see all notifications. Well, by putting all notifications, you're going to continue to get these little icons that will show up, and it's going to tell you everything that's going on your phone, and you're going to want that, believe me. The other thing that you could do is if you do not see your percentage up there, you can turn on show battery percent. This is definitely something that I always do. I have it on all my phones, and I think you should too. Now, this next feature is going to make accessing your phone even faster. And you notice I haven't been using yet my finger to unlock anything because even fingerprint sensors, no matter how fast they are, I find them that they're too slow. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you this feature that I have that you may not have on your phone. I'm going to place my phone here down on the table, and I'm going to lift it. And there's a feature that's called lift to unlock. or lift to wake. We're going to go ahead and lift up the phone, and then as soon as I lift it up, it saw my face and it unlocked. You saw how fast that was? And that's because I have that feature enabled. So let me show you how you're going to have that lift to wake feature. So we're going to go into settings again, and we're going to type in lift to wake. And in this lift to wake feature, you're going to make sure that you have that enabled. When you turn that on, the next time you pick up your phone, if you have that face recognition enabled, what it's going to do is it's going to immediately unlock the phone for you, and it's going to take you to an area where you can start using your phone. And that's because, remember, we enabled those other features earlier. So that's our next tip. Now this next feature is all about speed. Let's face it, the S10, S10 Plus are fast phones. But what you'll notice is that there's a lot of animations. So I'm going to show you how you can reduce the animations so that your screens react much faster. You may be noticing that my phone goes really quick, and it's because I've reduced it. So we're going to go up here in the very top, we're going to go into settings, and then what I'm going to go is go down to advanced features, right? And advanced features, you'll notice that there's an option here that says reduced animations. So you'll notice that in the phones, there's typically kind of this transition effect where things go in and they go out. They kind of zoom in and out. They go whoosh, whoosh, right? Doesn't make the noise, but you know what I'm talking about. By disabling that or by enabling it, those features go away. And then as you're navigating the pages, it's going to be a lot faster because it doesn't have to do those transitions. So check out reduce animations because it'll make your phone feel a lot more snappier. Now this next feature, some people call it the kid-proof phone. I kind of call it, just clumsy phone protection. It's basically, how can you make sure that your pages look always the same? Sometimes if you put your phone in your purse, sometimes if you have it in your back pocket, even if you're not paying attention, you could actually move or delete icons off the page. In my phone, everything is locked. And actually, on Nilda's phone, we've done the same thing. Because she's always asking me, how do I get my widget back? It's gone. I forgot. It's messed up. So watch this. I'm going to press and hold on this widget, and I'm going to try to move it. And it says that my widgets are locked. If any of my younger nieces or nephews, when they were smaller, would hold on to the phone and they would try to play with it, this would have been great because it would have stopped them from moving things around or deleting shortcuts. So let me show you how I did that. You're going to press and hold on the screen. You're going to go into home settings, and under home settings, you're going to have lock home screen layout. I'm going to disable this so you can see what it's like now. Now, if I take this, notice I can actually move it around. I can put it somewhere else. So I can move it. But if I put it back, and then I basically press and hold and go to home screen settings, what I can do then is say lock the home screen setting, go back, and now when I try to move something, it won't go anywhere. It's locked in place. So that's the next tip. All right, so here's another tip that's going to speed up accessing your notifications and your toggles. So most of us, when we're going to go into our notifications, we swipe from the very top, right? So you do this thing right here to get in there. But with mine, I can swipe anywhere and it opens up. Let me show you how I did this because this is a little tricky to find. So we're going to go into settings, and we're going to go into display. We're going to go down to home. And there's really no shortcut for this. That's why we have to go the long way. And then what you're going to do is choose quick open notification panel. If I turn this off, right? Notice as if I turn this off and I go home, when I do this, I'm getting all of my apps. If I go back into it, we're going to go into settings, we're going to go into display. Once again, we're going to go home screen, and then we're going to turn this on, quick open, right? Now when we go back and I swipe down, I get my notifications panel. If you swipe up, you're going to get all your apps. That's the next tip. Now the next tip I'm going to show you is also about convenience and speed, and this is about opening two applications at the same time. How do you multi-window? So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the multitasking window, and then I'm going to choose one of the apps that I want to have open. Now I use this a lot as I'm using email, and I'm also using my phone if I'm on a conference call. So what I'll do is I'm going to use that as an example. I'm going to go ahead and press and hold, and then I'm going to say open in split view. Notice that there's also an open and pop-up view, but I'm going to go ahead and choose open up and split view. And then it's going to ask me choose your next application. I'm going to choose this one right here. And you'll notice that I have two applications running at the same time. The convenience here is that if you have to look at a phone number that you have to type, you can see the phone number on the bottom and you can interact with the top screen here. And you could go ahead and type away. You could also use this, for example, if you're navigating and you want to have Spotify and also Google Maps running at the same time. So you can look at two different applications at the same time. You can size, your windows differently, right? And then you could also just close them out just by swiping out. You'll notice how that one just disappeared. So really, really convenient to multi-window. Now this next tip also focuses on multi-windowing, but if you have predictability around what you do, like you have apps that you would always like to have side by side, if we look at our Edge panel here, you can actually have two apps running side by side. Let me show you what that's going to look like. So notice as soon as I tapped on it, I had Google Maps and I also have Spotify opening up at the same time. How did I actually do that? So I'm going to go onto the side here and I'm going to choose Edit. And as soon as this comes up, it's showing all my apps that are here, but then I can create something that's called an app pair. So simply all you do is tap Create App Pair. And what it will do is it will launch the applications that are available that have the ability to work in multiple windows. And what you could do is you can just choose it. So if, like for example, if I want to go ahead and have Facebook as one app pair, and then I want to have, let's say, Flipboard as another, all I have to do is, and they're going to be top and bottom, or I can switch it and then say which one is on the bottom and the top and just invert it. And then once I've done it, I hit done, and that's going to be my app pair. And it's going to show in your side panel here. So it's going to give you an ability to just quickly get into it. So for example, in my case, I could have Outlook running, and I could also have my phone running at the same time, because I know when I go into Outlook, I may have to put in a passcode for a conference call, and I don't want to have to fiddle with going back and forth. So that's a quick way to create an app pair to get more convenience. All right, so now this next tip is about really taking advantage of the beautiful screen that you have in the S10 and S10 Plus. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to go into Settings, and then we're going to go into Display. And you have the ability to have a couple things, and we're going to look at two settings. You have a screen mode, and the screen mode you could go from natural to vivid. And then the natural is going to be more realistic, more closer to the real colors that you see in natural life. So the reds are going to be red, and the blues will be blue, and the blacks will be black. But if you choose vivid, and you can see this on camera, things pop even more. So the reds become even more red saturated. All the colors are just going to be more vivid and more darker and richer. So depending on what you like, if you like things to be muted, you could go with the natural, which is the default, or you could go vivid. Now the next thing that you could do is you can work also with resolutions. So the phone by default is coming in a low resolution, and the low resolution is FHD+, right? But we have a high definition screen. And why don't you go ahead and choose that? You'll notice the difference that the graphics will look crisper. Everything is going to look a lot better. And it's a feature that you might as well use because, hey, you have a phone that can. Now, this next feature is about keeping your phone what I'll call crispy at all time. That means I want something that's snappy, something that's going to move all the time. And this is a feature that I use all the time. So notice, we've recognized that we have optimized. So with the optimize feature, this is a little shortcut widget, and we're going to have how to get these shortcut widgets in a longer video coming up. It kind of goes through and it cleans up all your memory. It keeps your phone snappy. That way, if you're swiping left, right, you're starting a program, you have no issues. But what if every morning you could always have a crispy phone? Well, let me show you a feature that's in this area here. So we're going into settings again, and then what we're going to do is we're actually going to go down to where it says device care. Now, device care also shows you a lot of things. It tells you about apps that are misbehaving. It's a great place to find and delete duplicate files. There's a lot of things that you can do here, but this is an area that just came in with the One UI. Auto optimization. Auto optimization, when you turn that on, you can set a time so that every morning it does that quick refresh that I just did manually. It will reset it, so when you pick up your phone is going to always be crispy. Now, the next thing is if you go into this area, you could also have an auto restart. Now, this is very different. This is a reboot. Think about it. You have to do this to your Macs. You have to do this to your iPhones. You have to do it to all computers after a while, just to clear out memory and do something fresh. So here I have it where every morning, every Friday morning at 3 a.m., it's going to do this restart. I can change this to every Sunday morning, every Saturday morning, whatever day I would want, and it's going to automatically reboot your phone, and you'll always have a super crisp and fast S10 or S10 Plus or even S10e. All right, so this is our last tip, and this is a power tip. This power tip is about locking and unlocking, and also about fingerprints. We're going to go into the settings area, and so our bonus tip is really about fingerprints. And this is something that I recommend you do. So we're going to go into our fingerprints area. And the reason why we're going to go into this area is because many times as you're starting to use fingerprints, you may run into a situation where your fingerprints is not recognizing and you don't know why. Well, notice right here, one of the things that I like doing is so that I can understand what I've done wrong or how I can improve it, is I label my fingerprints. So if I press and hold on any of these fingerprints, I can actually remove them. I can modify it. If I go into it, I could actually rename it. So you notice what I've done here. So I have left thumb 1, right index, left index, and then I also have right thumb 1. Well, what I was noticing is that as I was using my fingerprint, it wasn't recognizing as accurate as it should. So what I did was I re-registered my thumb, and I called it thumb 1. And the whole point here was to see if this one was going to be more accurate. So by pressing my finger on it, I can see which one is being recognized. Notice that I have 2 where I have done some registration, but this one seems to work a lot better. So what you could do is name the finger, and then that way, when you start seeing failures, you know which one to delete and then which one to re-add. The other thing that you can do is you can just, check the fingers. What I'm doing is checking the recognition. By putting my finger on it, I'm checking to see, is it recognizing my fingers as it should? And when you're doing your registration, make sure that you're holding your phone the way you use it. Sometimes we're registering it like in a perfect position or a perfect angle. But for example, if you register your phone finger like this, how many of you actually use it this way? Most of us have our phone like this. So you should be registering your fingerprint this way, not this way. Now, the other thing that I would recommend you do is that you rotate your phone in different angles as you're doing the registration so that it's capturing every possible angle and permutation of your finger. That's going to make fingerprint recognition super fast and super easy. And I'm telling you, all my family uses the fingerprint sensor, and that's the first thing that we do. We do the rotation, we make sure we hold it the way we intend to use it, and do the registration that way, and then that's going to save you a lot of pain. So guys, that was our 10 tips. Actually, I think it was a little bit more than 10 tips beyond the bonus. I couldn't help myself. But those are the tips for using your S10, S10 Plus. So check those out. Make sure that you subscribe because we have a full week of videos, accessories. We have also tips and tricks that are going to be coming about the S10, S10 Plus, and also, the accessories like this. This video should be posting today. This is the Galaxy Watch Active. Is this the watch for you? That's good to know. Well, if you want to really know, watch the channel because the video will be on very soon. So see you in the next one. Make sure you share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.